For DC on Film, 2017 started with news, speculation and rumors, and for the most part, not of the good kind. In this editorial, I'll cover recent news about Ben Affleck and the upcoming Batman solo movie, and the rumors that Justice League and Wonder Woman, both of which are in post-production, are shaping up to be disjointed disasters as well. To get a better picture of what is going on behind the scenes at Warner, we reached out to our own inside source, who also gave us some tidbits on Aquaman, The Flash, Shazam, and Man of Steel 2. To recap, over the course of the last few months, both Warner and the various actors involved have more than hinted that the upcoming Batman solo movie would shoot in the spring of 2017 for a 2018 release. Ben Affleck, on the other hand, the director and star of the movie, always told the press that the script wasn't quite there yet, and they would take the time they needed to get it right. As early as June of 2016, during the filming of Justice League, Affleck told Screen Rant that, "I think they, meaning Warner, have a date for it. Although, I don't know if I would necessarily be able to make that date, because I don't have a script that's ready yet. My timetable is, I'm not going to make a movie until there's a script that I think is good." That's a very different story from the one Warner told. That word of a spring 2017 shoot kept on being repeated while Affleck continued his stance that he needed time to get the script right, suggests that Warner valued a certain release window and fiscal quarter, while Affleck valued getting the material right. Things must have gotten pretty heated behind the scenes, because on January 1st of 2017, Affleck told The Guardian that him directing the next Batman was the idea, but, quote, "It's not a set thing and there is no script. If it doesn't come together in a way that I think is really great, I'm not going to do it." Affleck publicly calling his involvement into question naturally set the internet ablaze, and started rumors of him even dropping out as Batman, period. And this was January 1st. Fans and pundits freaking out over Batman dropping out, and the entire DC Extended Universe subsequently collapsing, was clearly not the beginning of 2017 that Warner would have wanted. And make no mistake about it, the intended recipients of this comment was of course Affleck's adversaries at Warner. According to our source, which I'll get back to in a minute, the Justice League promo picture published by USA Today on January 8th was all about countering the negative buzz Affleck's comment yielded. Affleck's game must have worked though, because barely a week and a half after the Guardian interview, two things happened. On January 9th, Batman on Film reported an inside scoop that the shoot of the Batman solo movie had been pushed back by several months. Also on January 9th, Ben Affleck appeared on Jimmy Kimmel to promote Live by Night. While there, he confirmed, in no uncertain terms, that he would indeed be directing Batman. These two news items, in such rapid succession, suggest that the parties must have gone back to the negotiation table and come out with a compromise they all can live with. Pushing back the shoot by a few months may give Affleck the time he needs to iron out the script, and now that Live by Night has been released, he can focus on Batman full-time. Affleck has since doubled down on that he is going to direct the movie and that is going to be amazing. However, the last few weeks he's been busy promoting Live by Night, and it would appear he is getting fed up with people being more interested in Batman than that.
Oh my god, it's such a pain in the ass. It's like every time I mention Batman, it gets this huge, clickbait. When I was doing this movie, it took me 2 years to get it together, but nobody ever asked me, where's Live by Night? What they asked me is Batman, Batman, Batman. Batman's coming along, it's going to be great, we're going to make something really special, we're going to take the time to make it right, we're going to do it good, we're going to do it the right way, and the fans are going to love it.
Affleck being fed up with being asked about Batman also made the rounds in the entertainment news, and many a pundit have called for journalists and fans alike to get off his back and get interested in Live by Night. Personally, I think Affleck should harden the fuck up. Unlike his vanity project Live by Night, Batman is an institution a crap ton of people are deeply invested in, and those people really want to see DC on Film take off, which it arguably hasn't thus far. His upcoming Batman movie is kind of crucial here, so putting on a braver face might be in order. Speaking of Live by Night, its reception clearly wasn't quite as hoped. Warner are known to be painfully reactive, So will this slight depreciation of Affleck's stock have any bearing on his influence over the upcoming Batman and other DC movies? And just what is Affleck's Batman movie aiming for? Chris Nolan redux or something else? We put the question to our inside source. Word of warning here, some parts of what I'm about to say both now and later in the video cannot be credited to, or at this time be backed up by any other sources, so feel free to take it with a grain of salt. But it was revealed to us by the same source that helped us out with some of the Ghostbusters information that hadn't been leaked anywhere else at the time, and that checked out. Despite live-by-night bombing, Warner haven't had their usual reactionary twitch. On the contrary, Warner remains all in on Affleck and on him directing the upcoming Batman solo movie, which is a top priority for them. Affleck is also committed to directing Batman, and making it the best movie he possibly can. There have been disagreements with Warner higher-ups, which led Affleck to play hardball in the media, and between Affleck and Jeff Johns, but we are told that is worked out now. What Affleck and Johns always agreed on is the desire to distance the upcoming movie from Chris Nolan's legacy. In the summer of 2016, there were rumors that the movie would take place within Arkham and be inspired by the recent video games. Our source confirms this to be the case, and that the Arkham trilogy of games serves as the primary influence on the movie. The script being developed is described as Die Hard meets Batman in a prison, with Affleck committed and firmly in charge, and a take which seems reminiscent of the Arkham-inspired Batman fight scenes from Batman v Superman that audiences actually did respond to. Things are starting to look up for the Batman movie. But that won't be out until 2018 at the earliest. There is still 2017 to contend with. Before we move on, let's add some context and go back in time to before the release of Batman v Superman. The producers at Warner, director Zack Snyder, Snyder's wife, writer David Goyer, and producer Charles Roven planned to catch up to Marvel with the release of Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad in 2016, and follow those up with Wonder Woman and Justice League in 2017, with many more DC movies planned to come after that. It was an ambitious slate. In order to make it, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman and Justice League were developed while Batman v Superman was in production. Not only that, they were also developed in the same basic mold as Batman v Superman and overseen by the above-mentioned Batman v Superman Brain Trust. The assumption was that Batman v Superman would be a billion-dollar movie and a beloved hit. According to Charles Roven, there were no contingency plans. Unfortunately, Warner got greedy, and that would bite them in the ass. According to our source, the ultimate cut of the movie is in fact Snyder's director's cut. For the longest time, it had no fancy schmancy marketing BS name to distinguish it, because it was also the only cut of the movie, and both Snyder and Affleck wanted it released theatrically. Warner, however, were of the opinion that the movie was too long to earn $1 billion, so they overruled them and mandated half an hour be cut for the theatrical release. The end result? Not only did Warner's theatrical cut not cross the $1 billion mark, it was mauled by critics and fans alike. Perhaps a little bit unfairly, as they only saw a botched version of it. Audiences had rejected the Batman v Superman mold. Unfortunately for Warner, the next 3 DC movies had been developed in that exact same mold. This left them scrambling. We've already covered how badly this affected Suicide Squad. Justice League, however, had not yet started filming when Batman v Superman was released, but it was scheduled to begin production just a couple of weeks later. Rather than suffer the enormous costs and scheduling nightmare that would come with pushing back the entire shoot at such short notice, Warner proceeded with filming the movie as planned. But to avoid another Batman v Superman situation, it would have to be retooled on the fly while they were filming. To this end, Charles Roven was ousted, Ben Affleck was appointed executive producer, and Jeff Johns and Peter Berg were given a say. How did that work out? In the earlier mentioned January 9th scoop, Batman on Film revealed that their source had heard that Justice League was a mess. no further details were given, which did not prevent the claim itself from spreading far and wide. So we put it to our source. According to our source, the Justice League shoot was not a pleasant one. The reaction to Batman v Superman hit everyone hard, especially Snyder and Affleck. Affleck was very hands-on during the production, and the script was rewritten every single day. Tonally, the movie was initially intended to carry on the dark and dreary tone of Batman v Superman until Jeff Johns suggested they, quote, marvel it up, meaning lighten the tone and add some fun and hope to proceedings. Story-wise, Justice League will, like Batman v Superman before it, mash up two stories from the comics. In this case, the Steppenwolf story with Superman Reborn. Also worth noting here is Jared Leto. He was taken aback by the response to his and director David Ayer's gangsta interpretation of the Joker, but he is contractually obligated to make as much as 6 Joker appearances, so if Warner wants him back, chances are he'll be there. Warner were less than impressed with his outspokenness, but it would appear they are not quite ready to recast him just yet, as the current plan is for him and Margot Robbie to appear in a Justice League cameo, leading into future Batman movies. Quality-wise, Justice League is at this time something of a mixed bag. Our source also claims that Justice League is a mess, but hastens to add that it's a fixable mess. They are working very hard to make the movie the best it can possibly be, and they still have 3/4 of a year to tweak it. Things are a little bit more urgent with Wonder Woman. On January 12th, Sasha Pearl Raver told a panel of schmoes that she had heard from the same source that told her Batman v Superman stunk prior to its release, that Wonder Woman also stinks, being disjointed and lacking in narrative flow. This isn't the first time we've heard this. Already in August of last year, an open letter to Warner CEO Kevin Tsujihara claimed Wonder Woman was a mess, which director Patty Jenkins quickly denied back then. According to our source, only a handful of people have seen the movie. It apparently does have issues, but they are also described as fixable and not Suicide Squad level. So that covers the 2017 movies plus Batman. What of the others? There are plenty DC movies planned for beyond 2017 as well, but many of these are in a somewhat fluid state, and we know a little bit about some of them. The one with the most going for it right now is Aquaman. According to our source, there hasn't been any drama with this one, and Warner are really excited about it, as it represents something Marvel hasn't done yet, namely an underwater superhero film. Who knows, maybe Aquaman will inspire Marvel to work out a deal with Universal and bring Namor the Submariner into the fray. The Flash has lost 3 directors and counting. According to our source, the Flash solo movie is currently on ice, pending how audiences respond to the Flash in Justice League. By all accounts though, Ezra Miller crushes it. Dwayne Johnson has been attached to the role of Black Adam in Shazam since 2008. But the Shazam movie is still years away, and Dwayne Johnson is one of the biggest stars on the planet, so DC Entertainment decided something had to be done. On January 19th, The Hollywood Reporter revealed that Black Adam was getting his own solo movie due to be fast-tracked. According to our source, they are considering introducing Shazam in Man of Steel 2, and they're courting Dwayne Johnson to appear there as well, among likely many other potential future appearances. Speaking of Man of Steel 2, George Miller is Warner's top pick to direct, but no deal has been reached. Despite none of the DC Extended Universe movies released so far working out the way Warner would have liked, and 2017 being off to a pretty bad start in terms of buzz generated, Warner remains committed to DC. For now. Unlike Marvel Studios, that only do and rely on Marvel films, Warner doesn't even need DC. Despite Batman v Superman underperforming to the tune of hundreds of millions relative to expectations, Warner still had the second largest earnings and market share of all the studios in 2016. They would of course like to turn the DC brand into another asset. But if they can't get it to work, and at some point decide it's not worth the cost to keep on trying, they can pull the plug on the entire DC Extended Universe and be no worse for wear, thanks to all their other movies. So what do you think of all this? Will DC turn things around in 2017, or will it be Batman that saves the day in 2018? And if he doesn't, how long will Warner keep on trying? Let me know what you think of all this in the comments.
If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. Join us for spin-free news and analysis of the happenings and corporate politics behind the scenes of your favorite genre movies, as well as explorations of your favorite characters and their backgrounds and context here at Midnight's Edge.